Okay, we've got some sad footballing news to talk about. Billy Bonds, the former West Ham United player, captain, and manager, has passed away. It's been announced early, just a few minutes ago, that he's passed away, aged 79. He played 799 games for the club between 1967 and 1988, and then 2 years after retiring as a player, he would go on to manage the club between 1990 and 1994, that transitional period between the old Football League and the Premier League era. So his career really does transcend the old pre-Premier League era as a player, and then into management, transition into the Sky Sports satellite TV Premier League era. Now, we can debate the pros and cons of the Premier League and its benefits and its negatives for football, and the style of play that we now have, and how are we losing characters like Billy Bonds in the modern game, one club men who are legends. There's a reason why he got an MBE, and there's a reason why he was the captain of two FA Cup winning teams. He played alongside legends like Sir Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters, Sir Trevor Brooking, Harry Redknapp, Frank Lampard Sr. as teammates at West Ham. And of course, he would have played against legends of the game like Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa of Tottenham. World Cup winners he played with and against in the old English Division 1. And, you know, to play nearly one game shy of 800 for one club you don't see that anymore. If you do, it's so rare. We're talking your Daniele De Rossi's and Francesco Totti's at Roma, your Maldini's at AC Milan, your Ryan Giggs at Manchester United, for example. So rare in the modern game. But when Billy Bonds was playing, it was more regular that you had a player play 6, 7, 8, 900 games for one club at various levels in the professional game. It just doesn't happen now. It just does not happen now. You do not get that kind of club loyalty with players and managers anymore. You really don't. And we're losing that link with the older pre-Premier League era. As each year passes, more legends of the game sadly pass away as time goes on. And then we lose that connection with the history of the game a little bit. And that's one of the reasons why I did the Football Club History series, is we are losing that connection with pre-1992. And there's a lot of younger fans who really are losing that connection with the history of their local football clubs and other sporting clubs as well. And they lose that connection because they've grown up in the digital satellite TV Sky Sports era. And you don't get characters like Billy Bonds anymore, who are one club men, devote their entire professional career to that one club, play alongside other legends of the game, play against legends of the game, like your Glenn Hoddles and your Ricky Villas and your Ozzy Ardiles and such. And you've got to look at it. He retires a year before I'm born. So I'm born in 89, he retired in 88. The year after I'm born, he takes over as manager at West Ham United, and then the Premier League comes along in 1992. So the game, at the end of his career, is at a crossroads, and then 2 years after retiring, he braves it and goes, I'm going to go into the hot seat as manager. He's appointed manager by the board at West Ham. And this is a time when the game, not only in England, but in Europe, is at a crossroads. And we go from the old European Cup, old Division 1 Football League era, as I'll call it, into the Sky Sports Premier League, Italian football on Channel 4, the Premier League on Sky, and the big TV rights deals and the ballooning salaries that end up with the game we have today in 2025. So the game changed massively while he was playing and while he was managing, and it's changed more so since he retired from active involvement in football. And it's mad to think that when he debuted, that was a year after England won the World Cup, and Sir Bobby Moore was his captain. That is ridiculous. That's how he transcends the eras of football as a player and as a manager. And as I say, I think we are slowly losing that connections with the legends of the past of the game who built the foundations of the modern game. And you could also argue the modern game is losing some of that kind of traditional aspect, that link with community a little bit. with the football clubs and the links to the community, with the local fans going to home games week in, week out, being priced out. You could argue that. And without characters like Billy Bonds, we don't have the modern game in the style that it's played, and the improvements to player equipment and playing surfaces and stadiums. Without the building blocks of the past, we don't have the present. But I think some things in the present I don't think work. I think they've lost a little bit of that, I wouldn't say nostalgia, but tradition aspect, and the local lads playing for the local club, play their entire careers literally at the clubs they used to go watch as fans. But we are losing that somewhat as the modern game progresses. We get more the mercenary player now, and the big transfer fees, and you think to yourself, the game was a simpler game and a much more fun game to watch potentially, was played in a different way. I think we've lost that now. It's too robotic and too sterile. But there you go, Billy Bonds has passed away, age 79. Legend of West Ham, captain for the 2 FA Cup wins in 75 and 1980. And obviously played alongside some other legends of the game, not only for England but for world football. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you all very, very soon.